Wonder if I'm blocking the comments. Okay, no, I'm not. Yo, what's up? Cad, Vixen Floppa, what's up? Rex. Pelchy. Actually, let me get this in. While I'm thinking about it. How's it going, y'all? No, it's a bit late, but, you know. I kind of just woke up, so. Sleep schedule is still pretty cooked, not gonna lie. Gonna wait for the chat to appear and then we'll get ready. Don't stop being you. I'll try not. I didn't skip you. Respectable username. What's up? Good morning. Everyone say hello to Meowistic. Oh, don't tell me I have to do it, dude. Shit, do I have to do this? No. Sorry, give me 1 second. I should have probably handled this beforehand, but I thought it would work, so. You guys don't see what I'm seeing. Like the chat looks good on your side, but I have my own little window here that I'm trying. Pop-ups, invisible borders. Because I don't want to have to keep looking up, looking over to see if the chat is saying anything. Oh yeah, I guess I could pull it up on my phone. Okay. It's kind of hard to read though, even though my phone's big. Okay, we'll try. We'll try to do it this way. Actually, no. We can't, because my phone's at 5%, dude. Ah, shit. Okay, whatever. We'll just start, alright? Yeah, so how many of y'all are excited about the UFC fight on the White House lawn?
We've got to have money.
Thank you for the $2, Abdul. I am 25. I'm turning 26 pretty soon. You know what? I can poll chat. Let me poll chat on this. But thank you for the 2. I'll add a third option.
We've got to have money.
Thank you for the 5. I do have a phone charger, actually. I have multiple, but I just didn't Oops. I just forgot. Now, I don't know why they're so upset about the UFC fight. Like, let me check to see. Was the UFC fight public or private? It's been a while since I've checked, like, you know, like hardline politics stuff. Just because I've been doing other things. It's such a stupid thing to get upset about. But that's Redditors for you. Like, in principle, I can see why someone wouldn't want their tax dollars going to some random fight. But at the same time, it's like, you know, there's worse things our taxes can be spent on, you know? Okay, anyway, as of June 13th, White House South Lawn is a public-private partnership event. While held on federal property, it is a for-profit commercial venture. High-priced VIP tickets alongside free public viewing areas on the adjacent eclipse. Okay, so it is a private event. So there's not really... What are they getting mad about? Yeah, like Israel, guys. We can't have the White House fight because Israel needs another fucking 30,000 missiles. Or whatever the fuck they get. Liberals against cool violence? Who would have thought? Dunk it. I know. I don't know if it's like a lack of testosterone or... You know, there's something going on. Like, we need to medically examine them. To see what's up. Okay, I'll make my camera a little bigger. Spend taxes on abortions for America. True. Any opinion on the World Cup scandals? I actually haven't heard about that. Like I've said, even though I've been working so much, like I've been working so much to a point where I haven't been able to like do any extra research on this. But let's see what the comments are saying. It would be terrible if this happened, and it made me so angry that it led to a health crisis. Holy shit, this person crashed out so much they had they needed medical intervention. What'd you do, pop a vein in your fucking forehead? The seething? What's actually terrible about it, though? Birthday fight? Are they talking about, like, America's birthday or Trump's birthday? Which one do you guys think? I can't imagine. I hope it doesn't rain it out. Dude, that would suck. Now, one thing, since I don't know how many of you actually follow UFC, one thing I was super disappointed about was that Islam couldn't have been the one fighting Ilia Topuria. Like, Islam and Ilia are like the two top dogs. I think they should have been the ones doing it. But like, dude, have you seen Ilia Topuria's weigh-in? The dude is fucking... He's just built different, dude. I don't know. Maybe he's taking steroids or something. I hope not, but I don't know. He looks pretty clean. 30 pounds. What was he at originally? I forgot what his weight class was that he usually fights at. What do you think about Liquid Zulu? I like Liquid Zulu. I've watched a decent bit of his content. I wish he was a little more popular and posted more. But he's good to have. Yeah, Islam versus Ilia would have been a fucking super fight, dude. It would have been insane. But anyway, let's check out, let's keep going through the comments. Alexander's entered the chat. I mean, there's still good fights, but Justin Gaethje is gonna get his fucking shit clapped. Like, every single problem that Gaethje has had throughout his fighting career is like a weakness that Ilya's like style is really good at combating. So I don't know, it's not gonna be good for Gaethje. But I mean, hopefully he pulls something crazy off. Who knows? Still gonna do a little rain dance. A Canadian is rooting for y'all. Marylander here. You don't need to do a rain dance, but it's appreciated. This state in DC by proximity get more rain than what we know what to do with. What is exactly the argument against having this fight? Like, is it just Orange Man bad, or is there something I'm missing here that people don't like the fight for? Trump bad is all. See, I hope it's something more than that. Like, there has to be something I'm missing here. I mean, I say that, but my entire channel proves the opposite. But I really want to look for something. Why didn't they build this at Mar-a-Lago? We're not leaving it up. Yeah, it's an event. Once it's over, I'm pretty sure they're gonna take everything down. I don't know why they would leave it there. Because he thinks it's perfect, the perfect thing to own the libs and further denigrate the White House or the favor of Chad bros, but too crass and lowbrow to put at his tacky ass Novo rich crown jewel. Are liberals incapable of enjoying the UFC? Is this a new phenomenon I'm unaware of? I know UFC now has a reputation by being essentially run by the chuds, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal if you ask me. Oh, hold up. Let me check something real quick. Okay, good. Okay, good. They act like Teddy Roosevelt didn't have boxing matches frequently at the White House. Yo, is that true? I actually didn't know about that. I know Andrew Jackson had duels, but was that during his presidency? I can't remember. Yeah, also Trump is not far right. Like, he was a Democrat most of his life, and he's still, like, very economically left. Even though he pretends to be fiscally conservative. That's certainly not the case. But, like I said, you can say that for every, pretty much modern president, unfortunately. Tearing his name off the Kennedy Center, we'll go over that later. I don't know what that's about either. While rain would be welcome, it may not stop the event, but lightning within 8 miles will cause a delay. We need a lightning strike every 30 minutes Sunday. How will the big orange toddler cope? Another tantrum to rival all tantrums. Wasn't this guy just... Wait, what? Didn't this guy just give himself a medical issue from having a tantrum? The hypocrisy. God, I know I've said some nasty things about you, and I've been an atheist for years. You can make a believer out of me with one simple trick. Calling upon God to stop a UFC event, dude. Oh, yeah, the lightning would be a really cool backdrop to the fight. It would, in fact, make it more popular. It would do the exact opposite of what they're hoping for. Dear Heavenly Father, send us a sign. I hope his makeup doesn't run. Trump loves fake / staged events. I'm guessing they're referring to, you know, his assassination attempt. But, I mean, it's kind of clever because, like, actually, no, it's not. I think the most staged event was that Netflix one with Ronda Rousey. Like, I haven't seen any big scandals in terms of, like, staging events for UFC. Yo, what's up, Remnant? I'm streaming so late because I woke up. I've been doing, like, really long hours trying to get a lot of things done. Like, get the daily YouTube videos and still keeping track of my life, so I haven't live streamed in a while either, so. But everyone say hi to Remnant in chat. What's up, dude? You finally dropped your video. It finally fucking came, bro. I haven't got to watch it yet, but I put on save for later, and I commented just for the algorithm. But I hope things are going well. I don't know what time zone you're in, but you're up too. You could be just as guilty as I am. Thank you, thank you. It's been a while, so we're gonna take it pretty casual. I don't have any big event planned, obviously. I'm just here hanging out with you guys. Oh, I know it's gonna be a banger, dude. You dropped a 1 hour video. I'm pretty sure it's not that far from your average video length, if I can remember. Like, your videos are pretty involved, but I mean, an hour worth of content that's edited like the way you do is fucking nuts. No wonder it took a month. Okay. JD Vance was leading the White House cover-up. JD Vance was leading the White House cover-up of the Epstein files from the Situation Room. This is explosive. We must subpoena and hold every single Trump official accountable who's protecting pedophiles and abusers. All right, let's see what exactly they're talking about. Let's watch this.
JD Vance has been leading the White House cover-up of the Epstein files. Explosive new reporting in the New York Times came out yesterday that details how senior White House officials, led by Vice President JD Vance, including people like Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, Greg Bonvino, and so many others, sat in the White House Situation Room to strategize about how they would cover up the Epstein files. The details were astounding to read. We've long suspected.
We're gonna have to, like, qualify cover up. I mean, I think they've done a horrible job. Like, even your most ardent MAGA supporter is kind of taking the L by suggesting that they released. Oh fuck, sorry. Like, they released all the files. Like, the most likely, Tax Brass said this, is that, like, a lot of the most crucial files were shred, but it's very obvious that they didn't release all the files because they still kept coming out even after they've, like, said over and over and over again that they were. So, I mean, that they already had. It's just, it's so embarrassing, dude. Like, and it's not only Trump, by the way. It's not only his administration. Like, this is this happened in 2008. Well, it didn't happen in 2008. We got confirmation from the legal system that it happened, that, you know, he got prosecuted for it or whatever. But this was happening for, like, probably decades. So, it just kind of sucks. But anyway.
Been saying this is the most egregious cover-up in American history, but to see that people like Vice President JD Vance,
and like I said, we're seeing big figures come out who obviously were alive and were involved at that time. So it's not like, I doubt the FBI had no idea that this was happening until, you know, all of a sudden, right? I think it's so bad that they've tried to keep it under for so long. Wait, is Taxed here? No, I don't see him. No, I was just mentioning him because he made a video on the Epstein files that was. I hate that video only because it's true. Okay.
We're sitting and talking about ideas like, let's have Tucker Carlson go interview Ghislaine Maxwell, who is convicted of one of the most insane and horrific child sex trafficking operations ever, so that she can take the blame off of Donald Trump. Those are the kinds of ideas that Vice President J.D. Vance was suggesting, and the entire thing is crazy. Highly recommend. Every single American needs to read this. I'm actually back here at the Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein files reading room. This is in Washington.
Yo, did you guys see what was in the background? Is that the like letter or whatever? It looks like it. Someone just put it up here.
Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein files reading room. This is in Washington, D.C., meeting with survivors of Epstein, Maxwell, and so many other rich and powerful men. I was here yesterday, and I want to share something compelling that one of the survivors said. So she, grew up like any other child in America, trusting the government, believing that the government would help her if any.
Well, that was your first problem. Has the government ever given you a reason to trust it? even like generally speaking across all administrations, like I think I don't know why people look up to like federal authority so much. I get why, like, the system makes it so that they're the only ones who can enact justice, more or less. But I don't know. Like, if you trust the government in pretty much, I want to say almost to any degree, I feel like, hold up, give me a second. Okay, thank you. W Meowistic, thank you for getting rid of that.
Anything happened. She suffered abuse at the hands of Epstein when she was just a teenager. She said the way that the Department of Justice released her personal information during this botched release, and the way the government has failed to hold any one of these perpetrators accountable, has been more traumatizing than the abuse itself. The government has not only failed these survivors and failed women across this country, but now with this cover-up, we not only have the crimes themselves, but the cover-up that needs to be investigated as well. This reporting is the first time we've really seen how J.D. Vance himself has been involved in this, and that is why it's so important that he now needs to come before the Oversight Committee. He needs to be subpoenaed, and he needs to testify under oath in front of the American people. We will ensure that every single one of these people is held accountable. This is a criminal enterprise.
I mean, even testifying under oath doesn't really mean fucking jack shit anymore. Like, people are gonna lie about this shit just because it's too, What will stop corporate businesses from becoming their own government if you get your ANCAP society? Well, in an ANCAP society, monopolies are significantly less likely to occur, like this gigantism and centralization of power, because consumers actually have so many options. That's at least the like economic theory behind it. Or what do you mean by stop corporate businesses from becoming their own government? Well, I mean, their own government. What do you mean by that? Like, what government responsibilities would the corporations have? I don't fully understand your question. It's a little too vague. It's honestly insane how Asmongold said that he fully supports aborting babies if they have Down syndrome. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Asmongold's like he's like a classical liberal in a lot of ways with really like conservative, or I guess not so much conservative, but like really authoritarian like solutions. So was that you? Oh no. In an ANCAP society, businesses would not be able to coerce people under its jurisdiction in a strict legal sense. Yeah, like, think about a Netflix subscription, right? If the company raises their prices all of a sudden to like $50 and charges you don't have to pay that. You can get the fuck out. You can unsubscribe at any time. But with taxation, you're literally forced to, or they'll put you in a box in due time, right? I mean, there's some people who do avoid not paying taxes and get under the radar, but you know, those people usually have their own isolated communities and are few and far between. Basically, we're just advocating for decentralization. Like, I don't like in my lifetime, right? If we just reduce the amount of taxation heavily and just start shifting in the opposite direction from where we're going, I will be happy. I'm not like, in principle, I'm ANCAP, but like there's intermediary solutions that will satisfy me along the way so that, you know, like I'm trying to just stick to my principles and head in that direction. Like that's really just all I want to do. I'm not saying that we should like eliminate the government tomorrow or anything. Like it needs to be a slow process of like auctioning off land, removing welfare systems, like, you know, pretty much getting rid of all of these like structures that just slowly destabilize society and are unfair, by the way. I just don't give a fuck when people who are talking about the Epstein stuff only start caring last year. None of these people were concerned before 2025. Yeah, also that. Like, the Epstein files, I think it was like 2018, right? Where, like, massive bombshell information. Thank you, by the way, for the 5. Like, massive bombshell information came out about it. Am I right? I challenge you to a boxing match. You're gonna win if you know how to box. I'm not the best boxer. I like grappling a lot more. It depends on the setup, I guess, and how big you are. Like, I'm not great or anything. I know a lot of techniques, but I haven't been able to like have a place to practice them in a while because it's actually really expensive in my area. A lot of the places to train. What do you think of the idea of a military existing completely separate and not answering to the federal government? You mean like a militia? I'm absolutely fine with militias. Why would I have a problem with that? It's the people's right to collectivize and organize with, you know, protection of their community. But anyway, sorry. He's making new account. Oh, guys, just ignore him. I'll take care of it. Don't even talk about him. Like, give him zero attention whatsoever. I don't see any spam anymore. I don't know what bots you guys are talking about. There are no bots anymore. I took care of it. I'm keeping this window open from now on so that I can take care of any of that. But yeah, what do you guys think of JD Vance supposedly covering up for Trump? Like, to be honest, I'm not that surprised at all. That's more or less the vice president's incentive and job to do so. Well, let me clarify. It's not his job to do so, but in like the political sense, to gain political capital, it's absolutely pertinent that they do so, just to maintain good optics and publicity. Oh, I'm talking about the... Oh, shit. I'm talking about the regular U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, National Guard existing independently to the government. Hope I worded this better. I'm not sure. Only because I would need to do like more research on how the systems themselves operate. So, like, that's a really complex question for a 2 a.m. live stream. I'm sorry. I won't be able to answer that right now. I hope to get a video out soon that explains everything. That's right, JD Vance should implement Catholic laws. Well, what type of Catholic laws? What are you talking about? Which Catholic laws? I am you, but better. Prove it. Okay, let's... Oh, wait, is that it? Is that the story? Okay, so apparently someone overheard, or maybe was present during the meeting, where JD Vance was talking about strategies like getting Tucker Carlson to interview Ghislaine Maxwell to make him, to like take accountability off of Trump. I mean, that strategy is sound. Like, if I was thinking as a Democrat trying to do something for Joe Biden, I probably would do that. But I'm not sure what cover-up you could do. I mean, obviously there was the stuff with like Trump going to the FBI about Epstein. But like I said, it's been a while. Like, we haven't heard anything new about the Epstein files in a minute. What do you think about the Skibbity toilet situation? I'ma be real, it's crazier than any politics I have seen, dead ass. What? What are we talking about? I have no clue. But, like I said, they're just going to, I mean, the Trump administration, this has just been their strategy for pretty much the entirety of the Epstein files, is to try to remove as much information and deflect. Like I said, I'm not surprised, but please give me your squat, bench, deadlift. I am not going to stop. I am drunk, determined. It's been so long. Like, my max when I was 160 was like 180. I could do that for like 10 reps or so. And I've actually never tested my squat. It's probably not like that great though. Or my deadlift. I have no clue, to be honest. Fight me at the White House. So we can find out who is superior. Dude, if I get a lot of money one day, I actually do hope to do like a community boxing event or whatever type of event we want
to have
for
money.
the Chuds, like Chuds versus bread tubers or something. If you keep the uploads for another week, I'll dono 100 on Floppa. Bro. Okay, bet. Let's do it. I'll definitely take that offer. Which two politicians alive in this world would you most want to see fighting in the octagon? Oh, thank you for the 10 and thank you for the 7 Canadian viewers. Holy shit, that's a good one actually. Which two politicians? Who's like the biggest? Oh, hold on, give me a sec. Okay, are we thinking young? Maybe. No, we are banning him. He just has like. Do you see that the name changes every like 3 seconds? He's literally going from account to account. It's spamming. Just ignore him, like I said. Just fucking ignore him. It doesn't matter.
Got to have money.
Maybe Robert. Like let's do like weight classes. Like Robert F. Kennedy is someone who I would throw in there. Who would be a good opponent for Robert F. Kennedy? You can ban me if I don't also ban dude spamming. It's okay, Veers. It's okay. Thank you for the 3. You didn't need to do that. We got it. It's all good. Martin O'Donnell. Isn't that? Yeah, that's the dude from Halo. He's not a politician. Joe Biden? Nah, Joe Biden's like he's too old to make a White House fight worth it. Let's be honest. Wait, JD Vance is going to be on The View? Yo, I didn't know that. Yo, that's content. JD Vance going on The View? Why would he do that, though? Senator Stephen Armstrong? Okay. Okay. I thought that name was a little sus. Don't sleep on Biden? Bro, I'm having lucid dreams on Biden, bro. What I mean is like what I meant is a government like ours now, what stops them from building their own army, their own cities, and invading others by divide and conquer type stuff? I mean, the fact that people have guns. Like, America's very unique in that most people actually have... Like, we have more guns than people. This has never been done in history. Or at least I'm not... Or a society that I'm not aware of. Or at this scale. Like, America is extremely unique compared to every other country that isn't, like... I guess Somalia, you know. But Donald Trump's, that's right. Let's go to top of this week. Trump booed at Madison Square Garden before Knicks Spurs finals game. I saw that. I saw people crashing out over on X about that loss. Who won? Who lost exactly? Like, what was the whole point of that? Do we have any sports fans that can somewhat explain why that was such a big deal? I have no clue. The important headlines, though. These are the hard-hitting news facts. Trump sets record as most unpopular president on day 500 of his second term. And we got a new poll. Let's go look at it. Minus 25. That is down 1.1 points from last week, giving the president a 35% approval rating and 60% disapproval rating. That's another thing. Approval ratings are like kind of bullshit. Like they don't do anything. They don't really mean anything. What's going to happen? Like your approval rating gets to like 20%, you're still going to be in office. They're not going to kick you out. At least at this point, like impeachment is pretty much off the table. And it's probably going to be like that for a while now. I think that's the norm. What made you get into libertarianism? What made me get into it? I don't know. It's just like pretty much my belief system. Like that's it. Like I don't really I'm just taking its principles to its logical conclusion, and I'm trying to advocate for that so that we can hopefully start moving in that direction. And here's the thing. It's not only like libertarians that want just a smaller downsizing of government. I think a lot of political ideologies, more or less. Well, you know what? That's actually not true. Let me stop. That's actually not true at all. Some people just don't realize that the system that they want, though, requires like a massive government, especially like the socialists and the dim socks. Can I call you Big Floppa? Sure. That's where my original, name came from. I've seen you ask me this question. Are you a neo-libertarian phalangist? No. I think I've responded to you like twice now on that. Here's the third time. No. Thing is, Trump is a garbage president either way. Leftoids just criticize him for the wrong stuff. I mean, that's kind of why I have a massive audience. Just because of Redditors. Like, it's one thing when Trump does something bad and you point it out. But most of the time, they're just bitching and complaining about pointless shit. Or just getting the facts wrong. So even if you don't agree with me on, like, everything, you can still realize that these people are sub-freezing IQ. Trump assessed by 22 medical specialists at latest checkup. The White House has declined to identify the physicians. I don't know what to say about this, because I don't know if this is, like, standard. Maybe it's not. I mean, 22 does sound like a lot, but I don't know. You mean like how people are standing up to the government right now? What do you mean? I forgot, like, the context of what I said to invoke that question. Honest question, do you think mass deportations are much likely with bigger or smaller governments? Definitely bigger governments. I mean, you need the resources to do it. How else would you do it? You couldn't do it if your government isn't getting paid that much. Are you actually going to read the article? Kind of pointless otherwise. Oh yeah, sure. The 60% disapproval rating. The media outlet explained that the Iran war is hurting Trump. That's true, I think, generally. With more than half of Americans saying the conflict was the wrong decision. Trump's handling of the economy was also a concern. Here's the thing about that, too. If Iran is really that big of a problem, I don't know how we can't get the other countries to agree with us and to come, help us resolve the problem with Iran. Right? Like, if they're actually this massive threat, we should have every country. Because it would be, like, almost existential if what they're saying is true. We should have all countries on board with this. I guess you could say part of it is that, like, China and Russia aren't helping Iran much. How are you surviving without an ad blocker? I do have an ad blocker, actually. It's working. It's just that, I don't know, maybe they figured out a way around it. Anyway, Trump's handling of the economy was also a concern among respondents, with 3/4 of Americans saying its condition is fair or poor, and 59% saying it's getting worse. But the economy's been getting worse for like, I don't know how long now. It started getting much more noticeably worse in the last like 10 years or so. Unfortunately, I don't know who Mike Ma is. Friedman's negative income tax. I've heard about it, but I would need to do more research on that.
We've got to have money.
Thank you, Superman. You are not even a caracal. You're a human, man. I know, it's disappointing. Yeah, I've been exposed. You know the truth.
We've got to have money.
Thank you for the $2. What were you doing in the River Discord? We were originally gonna collab, but things just fell through, and that's basically all I'll say about it. I don't really care to go into any amount of detail at all. It doesn't really matter. It's irrelevant. Ghostery ad blocker on Edge is also good. Well, I'm on Chrome, so. Anyway, Trump's handling of the economy was also a concern amongst respondents, with 3/4 of Americans saying blah, blah, blah. If that doesn't change, it will hurt the Republican Party in November's midterm elections, The Economist reported. Our forecasting model says the Democrats have a 9 in 10 chance of winning control of the White House representatives. The Senate is a toss-up. The Economist also projected Trump's net approval rating by state. The president has a positive net approval rating in just 4 states: Wyoming, Idaho, West Virginia, and North Dakota. I don't think anyone's surprised. The Economist reported Trump's net approval rating in Massachusetts. Have you guys been following the elections? I know the California one had some like controversy around it. Would you support Lot Dodd for senator? Who the fuck is that? Can you attend a furry convention with me? No. Absolutely not. I guess we don't have... I need to catch up on all this shit, dude. I'm just behind. I don't really know what's happening right now. But... I mean, I kind of expect, unless something really big happens, or a lot of really big things happen, that he'll either stay pretty low in approval rating or increase. I mean, or keep decreasing. My bad. No, I answered you, Chad Jew. It's a system where all welfare is replaced with a reverse tax that pays people who are under the poverty line a certain amount and ends when someone is no longer in poverty. But again, it still suffers from the same problem of what's incentivizing them from not just receiving tax money. I guess you mean like they get paid a certain amount. Is there like a limit to it and then it stops? By the way, seriously, I recommend to look into Skibidi toilet situation because the creator was done dirty. And the same company is copy striking YouTube channels. Copyright striking. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I don't cover that content really, so I don't think I'm in I'm in hot water there. I mean, Trump is getting old, though. Now that we're going back to this article, Trump is certainly getting older. I mean, people just age, you know? But it's still a concern, like with Biden. I have the same... I have the same concerns with Trump. I mean, he's only 2 years. He only has 2 years left. But he seems to be doing better, at least mentally, than Biden was. I'm sick of these old fucks. Yeah. Hopefully we have some... I mean, I know the Democrats have some younger candidates. I know J.D. Vance is probably going to try to run again. Who else? Who are the Republican candidates running? No good option for libertarians. It's all shit. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to get rid of the government tomorrow. But can we please get someone that actually recognizes or at least calls out the issues with our current, like, welfare system and all the other fucking programs? Like, we're seeing fraud. We're seeing fraud pop up more and more and more and more and more because of, not because of Nick Shirley necessarily, but it's becoming a lot more mainstream of a topic. And I think that's a good thing. Maybe people will recognize that maybe we shouldn't trust this massive centralized system to try to handle trillions, like $1 trillion, to be equally distributed across, like, God knows who. Like, there's so much fraud, and it's kind of intrinsic in the system being so as complex as it is. Sorry, fucking having an aneurysm. As complex as it is. Well, you know what happens when someone tries to fix the monetary system, central bank, etc., etc. Oh yeah, I know. They just get fucking yeeted. Yeeted and deleted. All the king's doctors and all the king's men couldn't put Trumpety together again. 4,000 upvotes. And like I said, this is the hypocrisy that people are sick of. Because I saw basically... Here, let's go. Biden health. Let's type in Biden health. Okay, well, this doesn't... let's do, like... It's kind of hard because Biden did come out as having, like, cancer. But still, most of these posts have incredibly low engagement. 0 votes, 76 comments. They're not even recognizing it. This was 5 years ago. This is what most of the site looked like when it came to Biden's health. Washington Examiner is an American conservative news website. But also one thing, Trump keeps bragging about his, like, dementia exams. I find that hilarious, dude. I don't know why he does that. It's so stupid. Well, I do it. He just essentially brags about everything. But still. You said people stand up to them because we have more guns than people, but people aren't doing anything right now, despite having these guns. So how is anything going to change? Well, I'm pretty sure your comment implied that, like, what if the government started actively trying to do that? And, I mean, obviously, it depends on, like, where you try to do it. Like, if news started getting out that the government was just going and essentially trying to seize everything, which is what I think you're saying, people would not be having it, more or less. But because they have this, like, soft control and, like, things aren't bad enough necessarily yet for, like, mass violent retractions, like even the illegal immigration system thing, right? Ideally, you don't need ICE at all because in our current country, you would not be letting extremely massive amounts of immigrants in, or letting their kids become citizens that we now have to pay like EBT stamps for, right? So so they would have to admit to some degree that, you know, maybe we shouldn't let criminals into the country. At least not like, and I'm talking like criminals outside of the violence. Obviously it's legally a crime to cross the border. But it's just a completely unsustainable system from top to bottom. Left goes against X thing until they realize X thing affects them or that they needed to be happy to survive. Amen, guns. Amen, brother. Let's see. Magazine based in Washington, a subsidiary. Okay, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. For a guy who let Trump get COVID, let Trump get COVID and printed whatever he was ordered to, I don't think he's a good source of information for healthy facts.
We've got to have
Oh, they're
money.
talking about this guy. Okay. Who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is. Oh, okay. He was Trump's doctor. Trans daughter or Mossad's son? I mean, obviously Mossad's son. The Mossad son is... You're gonna get a better outcome if you have a Mossad son. Like you'll have that protection. You know what type of protection I'm talking about. There we go. Bay Stiff Jew is here. What are your thoughts about the environment in relation to your ideology? You know, I'm actually going to answer that question, just not right now. Because I'm making a video currently where I talk about this. And I know what you're getting at. You're getting at like fossil fuels. It doesn't violate the NAP and stuff. Which is actually a really interesting question. That I'm still looking into. When I think about it, like... It's a tough one. It's a tough one because there's certainly like net benefits that we can get like just industrially for creating cleaner energy and stuff. Like we wouldn't have nuclear if we didn't pollute as much as we did, more or less, like researching and everything. But yeah, I'll be going over that in a video because I do find it really interesting. Anyway, let's go back to the modern day. Oh, the meltdown. I forgot about this. Who is this? Who is he interviewing here? President furiously stormed off an interview with NBC's. Trump began to sour on Welker after she pointed out in an interview that aired. Oh, okay, Welker. Can we find the full interview? Oh, okay. This is...
This Sunday, turning point.
50 fucking minutes long. Okay, we won't react to that. Not this time. I did more research about an NIT. Is if you earn below a set limit, the government pays you a percentage of the gap. It ensures low income earners get a basic income while also making more if they work. Okay, I mean that's interesting. It's probably it would probably be it's 50 minutes long, or at least like 40 minutes long. It would probably be better than the system we have now. I mean, anything would be better than the system we have now. Like I would even advocate as like for like a flat tax of like 10% or something across the board. Because we already pay so many taxes anyway, just in general. Have I tried the Chud woke values? The fuck is that? In stunning vote, California's reddest country chooses Bay Area Democrat. Trillionaires shouldn't exist. Obscene Musk milestone spur calls for aggressive wealth tax. Well, the only reason he has that much pretty much is you know what, actually I'm not going to say that because I don't fully know what industries all Elon's a part of. I would have to go into like all of his business dealings with the government and stuff, but it's very I'm pretty sure he has received like corporate welfare in the past. Postal Service won't deliver mail ballots for states that don't hand over voter lists under plan for Trump directive. Holy shit. Possible paywall. That's actually pretty based if they do that. I don't know why. I think mail-in ballots are way too broad. And I think and I think the way that states do them is pretty much begging for some type of corruption or some type of fraud to take place. What do you think of geographic monopoly? I'm not really sure what you're referring to specifically. Thoughts on Elon Musk becoming worth 1.1 trillion now? Oh, did it finally happen? Oh my god, he is. Public offering an IPO SpaceX, which gave the company an initial market value of 2 trillion. Because his wealth is tied up in company stock and options, it fluctuates based on daily market performance. I mean, the dude, like, in terms of all billionaires, like, if I had to rank them on a list on how nefarious, I guess, their goals are, and not judging him by, like, as a, I don't know how to put this. I don't know. I think Elon Musk does some pretty incredible things, and he uses his money in some pretty incredible ways, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I would just need, like I said, I would need to do more research on this to see how exactly, like, what chunks of his income or the factors that led into him making this much, more or less. Starlink is great, true. I think Teslas are actually pretty nice cars. Cybertrucks, on the other hand, certainly have their problems. What else is he involved in? SpaceX. SpaceX is really cool, too. He's cringe, though, dude. Like, Elon Musk is super fucking cringe. It makes it hard to like him as a person. Like, there's some quirky things about him that, like, are pretty funny and pretty respectable. But holy shit, dude. He needs to get off of his own platform. I don't think X is healthy for him. He's literally autistic or something. I mean, yeah, true. But Maybe he does spurg out. But I don't know. It doesn't make it less cringe, let's be honest. Yeah, I've seen your Albert, your AI comment, all right. Haha. Based if true, and Elon did such a good job making $1 trillion, but we all know Base did all the hard work. So true, dude. You know, I actually have the schematics for the Tesla Plaid that I'm keeping on in my office. Well, on my shelf. And that's why it hasn't been released yet, actually. I haven't given them how to build the final part of it. So that's why it's been in production for so long. And yes, it can do everything it claims. Actually it can do better. It has a 1 second 0 to 60. Can you believe that? Donald Trump ruins perfect vibes in New York City. The president will attend Game 3 of the NBA. Just more bullshit. Okay. Trump's White House cage fight event being snubbed by A-listers on heels of concert fiasco. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jared Leto, and Adam Sandler are among the celebrities who declined invites to Trump's UFC freedom.
Money.
I mean, even if they decline the invite, it doesn't mean necessarily like they're against it. Who is the true Rocket Man? Elon or Kim Jong-un? I think Kim Jong-un is the real Rocket Man. When even Jared Leto thinks you're a scumbag, it's time to reevaluate. But at the same time, why are we taking Jared Leto's opinion on this? The orange asshole's crimes make Leto look like a saint by comparison. You know, I need to go down the Leto rabbit hole at some point. Because I know, I mean, 30 Seconds to Mars is actually not like the worst band. They made some bangers. But I know his Suicide Squad performance was quite interesting, to say the least. U.S. accepts only white refugees for 6 consecutive months. Motherjones.com. Okay, from where? Okay, South Africa. That's what I thought. Is spending more than 100 million to fight the emergency of white genocide in South Africa. Get your news from a source, blah, blah, blah. And here's the thing. If you were to stay 100% principled on this, you would say that even the South African refugees, you know, this is not our problem to fix. But it's the fact that we take people from, like, third world countries that are have a completely different culture than us, instead of people who could easily assimilate here. And that's pretty much the hypocrisy that upsets most people. It's not even so much the like that they're bringing refugees in. It's like, will they even care about the country? You know? Hold up, give me or will they just try to, like, leech off of it? Because that's literally the incentive they were given. All right, give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go get a drink real quick. Hold up. All right, we're back. Kaya. Actually, wait. Floppa reveal. Say hi. Oh, okay. I'll let you down. Gigi, come here. She's a whiny one. Well, now she's at my feet. Little shit. Anyway, let's see if this is true though. How many? Not left, but let in the last 6 months. $6,000 refugees in the current fiscal year. What? Why is this is such a minuscule amount? Who the fuck gives a shit?
We've got to have money.
Yo, IAWF is now a fucking based god with the fucking fat 50 for the cute Floppa and for your good work, I guess. You guess? You're giving $50 to me off of a guess? Thank you, man. W's in the chat. What a legend. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to add you after a live stream to the end credits. It's obviously because they're white. I think that is a big part of it. Like, out of all the... I mean, yeah, they're saying, like, oh, we only exclusively let in. Let's check how many refugees in the last 6 years. 250,000. And we're complaining about 6,000. I mean, this isn't, like, the most amount of people, like, compared to the, like, U.S. population. But... oh, why does it stop? Okay. 11,000, 11,000, 25,000, 60,000. 60,000, 100,000. Wait, why did we let in 100,000 people in 2024? What happened? Did I miss something? Have a good night. What happened in 2024? This one's citing USA Facts. And this one's citing Statista. Oh, Israel and Gaza? What year is that? I forgot. Gaza, October. October 7th, that's it. Wow, that's not what I was asking. Okay, maybe that was it. But still, that's fucking Israel's problem, dude. That's not our fucking problem. At the end of the day. Wait, I just watched the Nuremberg trials and a doctor who wrote a book about his many interviews and interactions with those on trial. In the end, his book was not well received, but he did a radio interview that kind of ended his career. He started yelling, "They are everybody. They're you. They are me. It can happen again. It will happen again." Those monsters were normal, everyday family men until they weren't. He was right. How is this relevant to only letting 6,000 refugees in? At all. Maybe it's because they're only South Africans. Those South African Nazis, you know. Everything about this weak-ass administration is wrong and corrupt. Most racist, fugly leadership.
We've got to have money.
Thank you, Superman. Please forward this and all other donations to Israel. I'm on it, dude. I'm on it. In fact, I'll speed dial Netanyahu after this is done so I can do an instant transfer into the Great Bank of Israel. Although not noted in the title, they were all from South Africa. Thank you, Grok. They're going to be pissed when they discover that even the Amish think they're too extreme. Oh, the South Africans. I mean, I would be fucking extreme too if they were just random people going fucking door to door and slaughtering everybody, you know. That would probably radicalize me. But yet again, I know nothing about the refugees themselves. Like, I don't know where they come from or anything. Speaking as a white South African, sorry. We are some of the most insufferable people on the planet. I live in the UK now and I don't miss them at all. The friendly ones are lovely, but a lot of them definitely miss the apartheid years and feel like anything that doesn't directly benefit them is an attack. Edit. Obviously, it's much more nuanced than this with decades in history of context. But this is my broad take on it. If I think of your average 50-something Afrikaner, I have a good idea who they are off the bat. I mean, when are we going to start seeing the South Afrikaner refugee attacks? Have you guys seen any of that? Oh yeah, it is the WoW cursor. How could South Africans be a part of the German National Socialist Party? I mean, there could be overlap in, like, beliefs. But like I said, we haven't seen any, like, large-scale patterns or attacks that are coming from the Afrikaners in America. Like, okay, actually, let's look it up. Afrikaner. Yeah, I don't know how to fucking... African Connor. Afrikaner refugee violence. The first article is that the refugees affected by xenophobic attacks. Okay, so, I mean, I'm not saying the absence of this evidence doesn't mean it's not happening, but it seems like they're the ones being attacked, not the other way around. Isn't that interesting? Unless, chat, can you come up with, like, a story that I haven't heard about this? I just don't think it's true. Shocking, yeah, I know. If you're from South Africa, then you should know that white people are denied the same opportunities, and you yourself moved away, which can indicate that there is a problem in South Africa. Also, you seem to be categorizing all Afrikaners as the same. Another word for doing so is racism. Oof. And here he is a whole stadium filled with people who chant how they want to kill all white people. Minus 2 downvotes. Are we surprised? I don't think so. The admin, stop calling us racist. Also the admin. Just because it happens to be white people who are getting attacked over there doesn't mean they're racist. That's absurd. And like I said, it seems like it seems like they're not causing problems over here. Like, I've never met one personally. There's only 6,000 of them after all. And I don't know. We don't see any type of violence going on. $70 million useless sacks of cells voted for this. Well, why didn't you have a better strategy? Blame everybody but yourself. I will forever have a bone to pick with independents and third-party voters who couldn't hold their nose long enough to pull the lever for Harris. They're two sides of the same coin, is a stupid person's idea of a smart thing to say when they're trying to explain their total disagreement from reality. Oh, but she didn't earn my vote. I didn't vote for genocide was the most selfish, entitled thing that I've ever had to listen to on repeat as we watch racists and foreign powers rip apart our lives, our country's power, and sentence millions to death. I wonder how they could have managed that. I really do. -2 downvotes because they didn't agree with the hive mind. -2 for putting your opinion against other person's subjective ones. Do you know what Nelson Mandela and his party did to end the apartheid? If not, look up South African neck lacing. Jesus. I don't know. I'll have to go look into that. But I know at least currently it's not doesn't seem to be looking too good over there, but don't they have guns over there too? World Cup players, irrelevant. Trump opened a complaint line and got 35,000 complaints about himself. I'm thinking to myself, is that it? He only got 35,000? I would have expected more, to be honest. Republicans blame end of crucial program. Doge cut on Biden. Screw worms are back thanks to Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And beef may get a lot more expensive. What's this crucial program? News Republic? Republicans are trying their best to push the blame for the resurgence of the flesh-eating New World screwworm on former President Joe Biden, even though it was their current boss who cut findings for the monitoring program under the last administration with the massive movement under the open borders. Okay, wait, is there like a parasite going around like in the meat? Is that what they're trying to say? Under the last administration with the massive movement under the open borders policy that the cartels, etc., border security, that's when it began to make it its way back up towards America, hitting Mexico in early 2023. Screwworm infestation. What is a screwworm? Living tissue of warm-blooded animals. What do you mean? I did... The fuck are you talking about, crack monkeys? The headline was the first thing I read. The post is literally the headline. It can only literally be the headline. I'm looking up what a screwworm is. A fly that lays its eggs in open wounds and body openings. Okay, it's a pest. That's what I thought. To livestock and wildlife. No, you said you didn't know about the rise of screwworms. It's been a news story for weeks. Okay, but how is that relevant to the first thing that you said? Like, what's the point you're trying to make? Essentially. I'm just now learning about it because I've gone around to like reading these. This shit show is what deregulation gets you. All it and it's all Elon's fault for eliminating 30,000 USDA positions. You can't pass the buck on this one. Trump has been back in office for 500 days now. It's your mess. Love from Tel Aviv. This comment opens up a whole can of worms that I don't want to go over at the moment. Earlier, you said you didn't know about the California election. I was just pointing out how I didn't know how you're out of the loop. Well, there's so much news all the time. How am I supposed to stay in the loop with literally everything? Like, I have a life outside of YouTube. And I haven't been covering that content, so what reason has there been for me to look into it, you know? Despite knowing that the flies have breached the barrier at Panama in 2024, Trump and Doge and Elon reduced funding for the monitoring and prevention programs. The USDA expects a new screwworm fly factory to be up and running in southern Mexico by July 2026. It plans to open a fly redistribution center in southern Texas by the end of the year so that it can import and distribute flies from Panama if necessary. Did this happen? Not really. Texas Governor Greg Abbott expressed concern Friday that a new factory isn't expected to start breeding sterile New World screwworm flies for more than a year. The new fly breeding factory in Mexico is apparently on schedule. The USDA invested $21 million in converting a site in southern Mexico from breeding fruit flies to breeding screwworm flies. Okay, this is actually interesting. I'm actually going to save this real quick and do more research. All right, there we go. We'll move on though because I want to see all the claims that are being made and stuff. Oh, what happened? The chat just fucking got nuked. No amount of regulation is going to serve us if it's all corrupt and only serves to hold down the regular people. There we go. I can move back now. Regulation is kind of... It's a really tough thing to, like, point specific fingers at who is ultimately responsible for incidents like this. Like, there's always going to be oversights everywhere. It's really a cost-benefit analysis. Like, how much are we going to put into this versus how much does it cost to actually fix the problem, you know? There are literally studies on how Reddit is a left-wing echo chamber might be interesting. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, the study can be as simple as your own fucking eyes. Right? Trump denies that he campaigned on ending wars. I didn't promise anything. I think he said no new wars. I think that was the main the main talking point when he was running. And like I said, it's hard to call Iran a new war because we've been pretty much in a back and forth for like the last 40 fucking years. Like I'm just tired of the sand wars. Like I said, someone said a comment a long time ago that said neither side eat pork, this isn't my problem. And I found that really funny. I think it describes the mentality that a lot of Americans have. Girls will be forced to undergo vaginal inspections if voters approve anti-trans sports measure. Medical providers statewide have said that exams are unnecessary and invasive. I know you have... Don't you have to get a physical anyway? If anyone was... It's been so long, but anyone in school did sports, do you guys remember having to do sports physicals every time beforehand? I don't consider Indians Asians. Yeah, East Asians and South Asians or Southwest Asians, whatever you want to say, they're very, 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 very different. Like from the top down. What do you picture your average fans to look like? Here, I'll show you. Probably this one. There you go. This is probably the most accurate. Let's be honest. It's 3 a.m. Why am I watching this? Because we're vibing, bro. We're collectively all trying to prevent, well, I guess not prevent. We'll all probably need chemo after this, but... I am 165 centimeters and 50 kilograms. Bro, I do not know what any of this shit means. I think 50 is a lot, though. In fact, isn't like 20 average? Oh, okay, never mind. It's not near... Wait, no. That was a... What's it called? A stone. I'm thinking of like a stone. Yeah. Okay, stones. Like 20 stones is big. And like 15 stones is probably 14, 13. I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking of stones, not kilograms. $110 and 2.9. God damn. The whitest midget. All right. What do we want to do in the last 20 minutes? I can just answer y'all's questions. We can do that. Because I'm starting to get tired now. Last 20 minutes found in Kapistan. Yeah, I'm not sure that's gonna work. You know, I'll start it right now. My house will be the central hub of Ancapistan. How about that? Why are you Asian? Because my father was, probably. Do socialists realize that the government giving them free stuff will cost them money? Well, they don't make money. They typically don't have jobs, so I don't think it'll cost them really anything. That's kind of the point. That's kind of the problem, in fact. Who doesn't belong where? You keep saying you don't belong here. Who the fuck is Wang? Thoughts on the World Cup? I don't watch it. Soccer's for I was about to get banned, but soccer's not for me. Have you heard of Five Mind? It's like Reddit, but right-wing and memes. No, I'll have to check that out. What's your everyday carry? I can't show it on stream, unfortunately, but it's a Ruger RXM. Thoughts on the G Cup? Probably hurts your back, if I had to guess. Your kind doesn't belong here in America. Bro, who are you talking to? Do left-wingers realize that in order to sustain their system, they will need to become national socialists? I mean, more or less, but they're doing their best to take out the racial aspect. And by their best, I mean they're demonizing white people instead. It seems. What are those caps behind you? They're just random hats I have.
We've got to have money.
I got in a game with a cheater and got kicked for trolling him. CS is a joke. Playing CS in 2026? Crazy, dude. What's up, Raging? Do you agree with Kirk where pancakes are better than waffles? I don't know, man. I really like waffles. I think they're basically the same, more or less. I mean, texture-wise, they're different, obviously, but pancakes are easier to eat, that's for sure. Feminist son or a non-binary daughter? Probably feminist son. Like, you can... A feminist son isn't that, like, bad. But a non-binary daughter is, like, kind of crazy. Unsubscribed. Adios, then, I guess. Thoughts on 155mm or 152? I don't know, to be honest. Let's see, what's... Yeah, like, what? They're not really that different, if you think about it. At least in terms of size. Of, like, the actual bullet itself. Nick Fuentes versus Benjamin Yahoo. I don't know, Netanyahu? I mean, he's kind of old, but... I feel like he could... I feel like... Nick is kind of a twink, so... Would you rather fight a feminist Nick Fuentes or a non-binary Netanyahu? Probably a feminist Fuentes, if I'm keeping with the same logic as my last comment. Do you think gun rights should be expanded in Europe? That's an interesting question because like I wouldn't probably want to just flood Europe with guns, but I mean if there's a market for them, then they definitely should be allowed. I don't see why not. Favorite game you've played? That's crazy. I don't know. I have a lot of really 10 out of 10 games like Elden Ring, Expedition 33. I played Hearthstone and Smite a lot personally. What is your most left view? I guess I'm not religious. Does that count? Like, whenever I make arguments, it's definitely not from, like, a fundamental religious angle. That's for sure. What kind of headphones do you have? Bro, these broke, unfortunately. Like, this snapped. But they're the Focal Lex. They're really nice. Like, both of my headphones that I use aren't under $700. Because I'm a big audiophile. And I used to work at a music store, so I got them on a good discount. Would you be a gay, disabled, black, non-binary, Down syndrome guy, or a trans femme? I mean, obviously a trans femme. Why would I want to be disabled when that's not an option? At least further disabled, I guess. Worst person you responded to in a video or met IRL?
We've got to
I don't know. I haven't met anyone
money.
IRL. Worst person I responded to in a video? Probably Pizza Cake. Being atheist is leftist. I guess it's not conservative. Like, from that perspective.
We've got to
But-
have money.
Is it, like, intrinsically leftist? I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it. Oh, do you have an opinion on flock cameras? The fuck is a flock camera? Automated license plate reader. Commonly used by police departments and private communities. I'm fine with I'm fine with private communities using them, but not the police. We need more expansion. We need more cameras. How else are we going to solve the issue? We need more cameras. That just means you have have fundamentals, not just someone who says it because book said so. Yeah, true. But I mean, that's kind of one of the issues with religion is that the book is the ultimate determining factor if you like follow it. So which is why people then like interpret it 30 different ways to try to get to whatever principle, like they're working backwards. But like I said, I've met plenty of like very logical, very smart Christians and Muslims and like and Hindus. Like it's not just a single thing that determines your intelligence, especially not being religious. And you can see that in history too. Are libertarian socialists welcome in the libertarian movement? Absolutely not. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's a complete oxymoron. You're not a libertarian at that point. You're just a socialist, you know? Jesus is the only infallible force for free stuff. So yes, he is technically possible for a communist. Oh shit. My playlist ended. Okay, I was like, I don't remember putting on jazz. I would have to look more into like what Jesus actually believed in terms of like his economic principles, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't libertarian socialist mean like I think the government shouldn't be big, but they should also give me free stuff? No. It's like a fake ideology. It doesn't mean anything because libertarians believe in the non-aggression principle and they believe that taxation is theft. So, because the state uses coercion in order to get money from the people. Therefore, the logical conclusion to that would be no government. Like you can't have one without the other. I mean, that's the exact hypocrisy. Or not hypocrisy, but inconsistency that I'm pointing out. Why is my chat not updating? It's kind of bothering me. Libertarianism sounds cool. I highly recommend people just I should create like a list of like good sources that people can just read on it. Like I don't force anyone to be libertarian on my channel. I don't even look down on you necessarily if you're not. Like I would just hope that you investigate some of the beliefs that, you know, we have, and you know, maybe you adopt some and maybe you don't, maybe you think about it, maybe you don't, you know. Is pizza cake a smash or a pass? I don't know. What what do you think, Crack Monkey? What about sibling tax for food? Is that also theft? What about sibling tax for food? Like just having a sibling? I don't know. I think it's ultimately the parent's responsibility to take care of the child. Like another sibling, unless they're like older or something, I don't think they have the capability of being able to provide for a child like that. I think it's like the parent tax on candy. Maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Which is less viable, libertarianist socialism or anarchist monarchism? I mean, anarchist monarchism. What is this question? I don't really know how to answer you because, like they're just both absurd systems. Like it's combining. It's trying to do addition and subtraction at the same time. But like literally, like if there is a symbol that could add and divide only two numbers at a time, it just doesn't work. Xenogenders in chat. Who here has a xenogender? Everyone, let's all share our xenogenders. What do you think of aesthetic Christianity? What does that even mean? Like dressing like a Christian or like trying to LARP as one? Is that what you mean? Anarcho-monarchism is when ANCAP Napoleon forms a private military and conquers Europe and creates 1,000 Liechtensteins. I need to read more about the Napoleonic era, because I actually don't know too much about like that European time period. It seems pretty interesting though whenever I do read about it, or see a snippet about it on like some article or something. Have you read the work of Stefan Bandera, the Ukrainian libertarian? No, I haven't. I'll keep it in mind though. Can you shake it a little? Absolutely not. My leg's shaking. That's the only thing that's shaking. It's just like a tick I've had since school. It's the ADHD. Yeah, I'm an atheist who believes in God, aka our holy Moloch. Exactly. It's a Christian atheist. That's what libertarian socialism is. And anarcho-communism. Can you do a feet reveal based? No. Fauci or Marx? Probably Fauci. No, I'm not going to say that number. Please stop. I'm not going to say either of those numbers, in fact. We got five more minutes. Give it your best before the live stream ends. And I go working on my second video. Or go to sleep. I don't know. I definitely got to work out. That's one thing I'm going to be doing. I love when my chat just doesn't fucking update at all. Great, now I have to go back. Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines. something quarantine. Okay, are Jews based? Jews are based. Orthodox Jews are based if you're using the definition that originally is like remaining as principled as possible. So we're like Catholics and Mormons and such. So I guess, I don't know. If you go by that definition. Are black people based? I don't know. It depends on the community. Muslims are definitely based. They're so based that their religion has not changed. Like their practicing of their religion has remained the same in a lot of ways in the Middle East. That's how unwilling they are to change their belief system. Gay son or soup? Like Superman? Or like actual soup. Definitely soup. Of course the ANCAP would like a child marriage religion. Did you even hear what I said? Are you fucking retarded? I wasn't advocating for it. I said if you go by the original definition of based, which is they're unmoving in their principles, regardless of what anyone tells them or how fucked they are. Then by definition, I am correct. I don't know what the problem is here. Should gay marriage be legal? I think the state should just stay out of marriage. I don't know why it ever got involved. Base never meant standing on your principles. It just meant cool. Bro, how old are you? Do you not understand? I know there's a lot of definitions of base, but that was one of the original definitions. I know it's changed over the years. Okay, yeah, right here. I'll show you. You used 4chan in 2016? Well, you didn't fucking learn anything from it, obviously. Based. To be yourself, regardless if you or your beliefs are or not the most popular. Urban Dictionary is Reddit 2.0. That's cope, bro. This got 1,081 likes on a slang word used to mean not caring about what other people think, but now pretty much just translate to be good. Typically used when you agree with something. When someone is concerned with doing their own thing and are spreading the truth, unconcerned about anyone's reaction. How old is this? 2022, 2022, 2020. Is when you do not care what other people think. It's a way of life. Okay, where should I go then? Okay, what's your source? Because I remember learning about it in fucking high school. I do have uBlock. Maybe it's not working. Yeah, it's just not fucking working, unfortunately. Use ChanX to look it up. I don't need to do that. Well, I don't know why you're just denying that that's one of the definitions of it. That's how I always have used it, because you can be based and retarded. I was there, that's my source. I was there too. It's your word against mine. And I just showed you evidence of it. Just because you dismiss that evidence because of where it comes from doesn't mean I'm wrong. Like, I even agree with you. I agree that it can be used that way. No, I know. But a word can have multiple definitions in different contexts. Based evolved from slang meaning unapologetically yourself and passed through at least 2 distinct stages before reaching its current cultural age. Flipped a pejorative sense into a positive self-affirming identity. Describe base as being yourself, not caring what others think, embracing. This is from the 80s and 2000s. This is beyond. This is before we were even born, I'm assuming. Do you believe in race realism? I think there's certainly I think it's certainly worth like researching just kind of I mean race realism in terms of like the modern sense, like your skull shape or whatever can determine how retarded you are. That's more of like a correlation than a causation issue. I mean, I wish they would do more research because from like a biological and medical perspective, we could actually figure out like how to fix the problem. But I mean, it's such a complex thing that I don't know. I think censoring it. I think what they're doing now by censoring like any type of study and any type of science on it is definitely not the way to go. But I also don't know all the claims they're making, so I couldn't necessarily debunk them right here. What is a real libertarian? I think generally just someone who, like, you just got to understand the NAP. If you understand the NAP, you can pretty much draw most logical conclusions from it. Like, of what a libertarian would believe. Now, there's actually a lot of interesting hypotheticals that we could go over too. Actually, let me move this over here. I don't know why I'm doing that. Do you agree with transhumanism? Agree? I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure, like, everything involved with transhumanism, but it sounds like a science issue. It sounds like we need, the science is not there. Yeah, libertarianism is the legal theory of the NAP. But anyway, guys, 2 hours has passed. Oh, God. So I'll be doing way more live streams. I obviously didn't have. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I don't know if you guys now I can't even remember what the fuck I was gonna say. I hope you guys enjoyed. I didn't have anything prepared really for this one. I was just like, well, you know, it's kind of late, but I should probably do some type of extra content. So the face reveal too? Not yet. Nope. Dating boys. Who? What the fuck? I have a wife. Wait, no, please. I just got here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I can't keep the stream going for another 2 hours. But it was a lot of fun. Thank you for all your questions. I know I didn't have any posts picked out for this one, so it was kind of just everywhere. But anyway, thank you to everybody who donated as well. Thank you so much. We definitely made a bag tonight, and I greatly appreciate it. Like, every single personal donation means a lot more than any amount of AdSense that I could get off my videos. Big L party is a meme, true. But yeah, I'll be making videos. I have so many video ideas. I have so many that I have to do. They're all on the burner, but we'll get to them in due time. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all. Even well, except for the spammers. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace. Right here. I'll prove to you I'm Asian real quick before I go. See that? That's rice.